This was me. I mean, I was huge. I was fat. I was overweight. I was unhealthy. Um, I was that's just simply the old version of me. And quite frankly, when we talk about old version, which is what we're going to talk about in this video, the old version of me wouldn't even post this picture on the internet, let alone a YouTube video. Like, how embarrassing is that? I look like absolute shit. But because I was too insecure, that was the old version of myself. Fast forward to right now, made a complete transformation with my health and my fitness. Okay, fine. Let's go back to 2005. Old version of myself. Old version right here. It's pretty funny. I know. I get it. Huge, fat. I was broke. I was $50,000 in credit card debt. I lived in my mom's basement. Like I said, I was 240 pounds. I used to smoke a pack of cigarettes every single day. I went out drinking 4 or 5 times a week. I was an absolute mess. I was a disaster. Fast forward to this was, I don't know, 2 nights ago with my wife at an event. This is right now. Uh, I earn millions of dollars every year, have a great net worth. I have no debt, live in a 5,000 square foot house, 185 pounds, don't smoke, don't drink. And I am proud where I'm at now. I don't say this to flex or to any of that. I'm talking. This video is about you. This video is not about me. And so, like, how does this happen? How does this happen? Because of this book right here. That's what this video is about. This video is about you making your personal transformation. This book is about going from wherever this video is about going from wherever you are right now, regardless of circumstance, regardless of how you are brought up, if you come from money, if you don't come from money, your parents, where you live, the market, it doesn't matter. You are where you are right now. This video is how to dramatically transform your life such that you become unrecognizable to the people who know you today, so that you can absolutely live a life by design. And so that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So the first thing to understand for this whole thing to make sense, so that you can wake up in a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, certainly 5 years from now, and become a completely different person. And it can absolutely happen. Why? I did it. I just was totally vulnerable and showed you my worst moments to my best moments. I am proof. I barely finished high school, no college education, grew up in a 1-bedroom apartment with my brothers and my mom. When I was surrounded by people that were wealthy and rich, and these kids, it was insane. Believe me, I came from the gutter. I've completely transformed my entire life. I'm not special. Again, this video is about you and how to do it for yourself. And the first concept in order to make this happen is have to be versus be to have. So, like me, most people live a world of have to be. They think this is literally how they live their life. They live a I have to uh I have to look a certain way. I have to be at a certain company. I have to be on a certain team. I have to get these certain leads. I have to live in a certain area. I have to be all of these certain things in order to have what it is that I want to have. When in reality, it's completely backwards. We have to transform out of have to be and start living a be to have lifestyle. In other words, To have what it is that you say you want to have, you must become. You must become someone you are not in order to have the things that you say that you want. That's how this thing works. This is much more a question of who and not what. That's what that entire book is about. That's what we're going to spend this entire video on is who must you become? Who is the type of person you must become? What are the type of character traits must you have? What is the type of behavior you must do in order to have what it is that you want? You see, when you think about somebody who has what it is that you have, or have what it is that you want, rather, it's not because of external circumstances. It's based on character trait. It's based on what? It's based on their discipline, their stick-to-itiveness, their focus, their ability to delay gratification. These are all character traits. This is all who the person is that allows them to have what it is that they have. Versus the other side of the equation around the person who has very low discipline, no focus, is addicted to instant gratification. They don't have very much, do they? So this is a conversation around who, not what. Not what you must do, but who you must become. Okay, fine. So let's start with step number 1. And this is what the book does such a great job of, which is to create and design your future self. And I have been teaching this concept to realtors I coach for almost 10 years. And by the feedback they've given me, they think, oh, I just want the tactics. I just want the strategies, Brandon. I don't need the mindset stuff. I don't, all that's foo-foo. But then they do it and they say, wow, that is by far and away the best thing that you have ever taught me. That is by far and away the thing that has made the biggest impact in my business, in my life, and in my income generation, my wealth creation, is the mindset. So it starts with creating your future self. What do I mean by creating your future self? Well, you literally want to create this future avatar. And you got to get super granular. You have got to get extremely, extremely clear on, like, I'm talking about saying, okay, what do you look like? How do you dress? What do you drive? Where do you live? How much money do you make? I want you to just spend some time, get away from your business, get away from the world, go to a quiet place, go to a library, go wherever you need to go and do this. Truly, do this. Map out. I mean, what does this person look like? What types of clothes do they wear? Like vivid detail. Do they wear a watch? Like get extremely detailed. This is the crazy part. And yeah, maybe this was planned for this video. It's not scripted per se, but it's planned. This blue jacket and this gold watch was on my vision board long before I ever had a nice sport coat, long before I ever had a Rolex. This was on my future self creation. It was always a blue jacket. That's why you see me, I wear a ton of blue. I mapped this out 15, 20 years ago. It was a blue sport coat with a gold watch. Blue sport coat, gold watch, Ferrari. These are all the things I mapped out specifically 20 years ago. So this is really powerful. You have got to map out this future version of yourself. And don't try to just go quick on this thing. Spend a lot of time going through step number 1. Okay, now, once we do that, step number 2 is to essentially audit the behaviors that this person would have to have in order to be that person. So again, you're creating all these things that you have, right? You've got the car, you've got the income, you've got the relationship, you've got the house, you've got the money, you've got the things, whatever you want, right? Go crazy with it. Don't hold back. Go big. And then in step 2, now it's all about the behavior. What are the character traits or the behavior traits of this future self that you just created? What are they? Start to really get specific. Who is this person that has these things? So we're going to map out these character traits. Well, maybe they're very maybe they wake up early. Maybe what is the type of person or character is this person to have the things that my future avatar has? Maybe they've got, yeah. Maybe they have a ton of discipline. Maybe they are extremely focused. Maybe they work out 5 times a week. Maybe they get really specific. Maybe they walk 10,000 steps per day. They work really well off of a schedule, right? They schedule everything. They don't just haphazard everything. They don't just walk around with no plan. They're scheduled. They're planned. They have balance. They spend a lot of time. They work when they're supposed to work, and then they're with their family when they're supposed to be with their family. They're not always checking their phone, right? They don't have the impulse control. Maybe they have a lot of self confidence. Just what are the behaviors that this person probably has that would allow them to have all the things you mapped out? Once these 2 things are really clear, then you can go on to step number 3, which is to really simple, like the whole book is talking about, is to be your future self now. In other words, probably the easiest way to do this, and I don't even know if I can, it's like, just do this. Remember the be to have? Be to have? When we're talking about the being, we're talking about these things. We're talking about the character traits. These are a choice. That's a decision. You see, you want the outcome. You want all the things. You want the lifestyle. But you don't have the behavior that allows you that affords you to have the things that you want. See, you want a large income without any discipline. You want to make a lot of money without being focused. You want to be healthy, fit, look amazing without working out or without behaving the way that people that are fit behave. You want to make a lot of money without behaving the way that people that make a lot of money behave. So, step 3 is just simply like decide. Choice. You can behave any way that you want. You can go from being distracted to focused. You can go from being lazy to disciplined. That is simply a decision. It's going to require that long before you get the results, by the way. Like this is like actions before outcomes. You aren't going to see shit until you start behaving this way for a long period of time. Here's what it looks like. It's like behave good, 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 good. And then things start to get better. But the problem is most people that don't have what it is that they say that they want behave very poorly. They want results when? Now. And if I don't get it now, then, screw it. I'm just going to go back to sleep. I worked out a couple times, didn't lose the weight. Screw it. I prospected a couple times. I didn't set any appointments. Screw it. They want everything right now. Well, how do you fix instant gratification? We're going to go on to step 4. So step 4, this is where the book does such a great job of this, talking about, okay, this all sounds good in theory. This all makes a lot of sense intellectually, but emotionally in the day-to-day grind, how do I continue to stay focused on who I am right now? I might not love where I am right now. I certainly desire being this future person that I just created, but what are the practical applications that help me get from where I am, we'll call it now, to this future person? Well, there's a couple things. There's 4 things. One, and just do this, like create a vision board. Create a vision board. It has been so powerful for me and the agents that I work with. Like, this is in our prospecting station. The vision board maps out, okay, and there's all kinds of research and studies on this, but not just with words, but with clear images, that you're crafting this vision board that has clear images on your future self, what you look like, what you have, what life would be like. And it's literally on a board that you get from, wherever, the dollar store or Home Depot or Office Depot, rather. You've got, and these images are things that you stare at every single day. My vision board was in my office literally for a decade, staring at me every single day to serve as a reminder of where I'm at today and where I'm going. Next is a vision letter. This is extremely powerful. Okay, so we're going to write a letter. You're going to write a letter from your future self who has already accomplished the things that you want to accomplish. That letter is going to be written to the current self. So this letter you write out explaining to yourself now what life is like once you've accomplished all the things that you want to accomplish. And yes, you are going to read this daily. I cannot tell you how powerful it is that you're reading this letter from a future version of yourself. It's like being able to imagine this. Imagine right now, maybe you're not exactly where you want to be, but certainly, hopefully, you're a better version of what you were 5 years ago. Imagine being able to give your old self advice based on what you know today, how valuable that would be. All the mistakes that you've made. What if you could get in front of that? What if right now you could go back to your old self and say, dude, don't do that. Don't do that. Dude, if you do this, here's what's going to happen. And you could talk to yourself. Imagine if you got your real estate license all over again, knowing what you know now, and you being able to give that person who walks out of the testing center, passing your exam, all the possibilities, all the things, all the dreams, all the aspirations, all the excitement you had, and being able to talk to that person now, you get the opportunity to do it. So you're going to take your future self, writing a letter as if you've already accomplished the things to your current self. Next is to create a winning the day checklist. So, what are the behaviors? What are the traits that you must have in order to who must you become in order to have what you want? Is a better way to say it. And on that winning the day checklist, there might be 3 or 5 things that you must do or be every day to have what it is that you want to have. And you're going to create that as almost a checklist. And it should just be with you every day. And you're just checking it off as you go that, okay, if I do these, and there's not a million things, this is not a to-do list. This is like your top 3 priorities that if you do these things every single day, you cannot help but win. It would be virtually impossible for you not to win. And you want to just check those off every single day. And at the end of the day, we want to journal. We want to reflect on the day to ask ourselves the hard question. Did I behave today like my future self? Or am I falling back to baseline? Am I regressing to the mean? Am I falling back into old habits that have me in my current situation that I just don't love? You might think this is like hocus pocus. I'm telling you, this is the thing. These are the things that will move the needle for you because you're being purposeful. You're actually participating in your personal transformation.